Welcome there, yogis, and welcome to Yoga with Andrea. So today we're going to practice a beautiful sequence to stretch the neck, the shoulders, open that all up, get things moving. So as we normally do, let's come to a comfortable seat. Getting stable through the sit bones, tummy drawn in underneath the rib cage, length through the crown of the head. Palms up to receive or down to relax, or maybe take a mudra with the index finger pressing against the thumb on each hand. Close the eyes and take a couple of breaths. Tuning in to the body, to the breath. And then setting an intention for our practice today. It's so easy to forget to take care of ourselves. We take our bodies for granted, but it's not possible to pour from an empty cup. So here on our mat we can fill our cup so that we may pour out that love and compassion we practice here out into the world and beyond. Good, and then as we're ready, we're just going to blink the eyes open, bring the palms to press in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra, Mudra of Reverence. And we're going to begin here by taking some beautiful neck and shoulder stretches. So let's begin with the fingertips resting alongside the body, fingertips reaching away. And then from here, we're going to take an inhale, and then as we do, we're going to squeeze the shoulders up towards the ear and hold. As we're ready, take an inhale, lifting up. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Relax the breath, the body, feel that relief washing already across the upper neck and shoulders. Let's try that again. Take an inhale and draw those shoulders up, squeezing towards the ears. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And drop. Exhale out. One more time with me. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. See if you can really get some length in the sides here. And then exhale, drop them down. Releasing. Okay, so from here, we're going to, I'll just turn sideways so that we can see a little better. So from our sitting position, maybe we can switch the cross of the legs just to break those old habits. And then sit nice and tall, and we're going to bring the fingertips of the shoulders and the elbows out in front of the body. And from here, we're going to take some circles with the shoulders and see if we can bring the elbows together at the front and the wrists together just behind the head. So as we're ready, making some circles, nice long spine. Inhale, up we go. Exhale, bring it round. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. Again, inhale up. If you can bring those wrists together at the back, maybe spend a little extra time here if that feels comfortable. Exhale down and back the other way. Moving with your own breath. Keep that tummy drawn in. One more time. And relaxing. Okay, so from here, we're going to open up the back one more time, open up between the shoulder blades. So if the right foot is crossed in front of the left, we're going to bring that left palm at the front and reach that right palm behind. So opposite palm to knee is in front. And we're going to interlace those fingertips, press those palms away, lengthen through the sides, lengthen through the crown of the head. Take a deep inhale, keep those shoulders resting down. And as we exhale, we're going to draw those wrists in towards the head and draw the elbows open towards the side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Again, inhale up. Really pressing those palms together, exhale down. This is a little bit too strong on the shoulders. You can walk the palms open and inhale, lengthen this way, palms face away. And then exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades in at the back, almost as if to touch one another on the exhale. So take whichever feels most comfortable for you. Last time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale down. And then releasing those fingertips down for a moment. Roll those shoulders up towards the ears and roll them down again. We're going to switch across of the legs. We're going to bring that right shin in front of the left and have that left palm in front of the right as we lengthen those fingertips away from the body. So inhale, lift and lengthen, drawing those shoulders down away, tummy drawn in. Press those palms together if you can, if that's available to you, and lengthen through the crown of the head as you inhale deeply. As we exhale, we're going to draw those wrists in towards the top of the head or just behind, and draw the wrists, the elbows out towards the side on an exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, drawing down and opening those elbows out towards the side again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw them back down. Again, inhale, lengthen. This time we're going to take it into a twist from here over towards the right hand side. So twisting over towards the right hand side of the room, twisting from the belly. Keep length through those fingertips. And then exhale, open out into a beautiful Sukhasana, easy twist towards the right hand side. Allow those knees to draw open towards the side. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. And then from here we're just going to bring that chin in towards the left shoulder to get into a portion of the neck. So see if we can feel that neck lengthening. And then tilting that chin up towards the right corner of the room. Let's get into a different portion of the neck. Keep those shoulders drawing down from the ears, tummy in. And then exhale, bring that head back up to a neutral. Let's unwind a little to the other side. And then from here we're going to switch the cross of the shin. So now the left shin is in front of the right. And we're going to bring that right palm in front of the left and lengthen away on the inhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Press those palms together. If that's too much on the shoulders, just bring the fingertips up. Turn the palms out, and as we draw the wrists down, you can open the elbows out towards the side and draw those shoulder blades in towards the centre if that feels more comfortable for you. Otherwise, with me, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, draw those wrists down towards the crown of the head and draw those elbows open towards the side. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Maybe you can close the eyes here so we're really feeling into the body. Exhale, draw those wrists back down, open those elbows out broadly, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Again, inhale, lift and lengthen. And this time on the exhale, twisting over towards the left-hand side and then releasing those fingertips down towards the floor and taking it into a twist over towards the left, drawing that left shoulder down away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head away. And then from here, let's just tuck that chin in towards the right shoulder and get into the side of the neck. And then inhale, tilting that chin towards the left corner of the room, getting into a different portion of the neck. And then inhale as softly release and unwind back through centre. And from here, we're going to come onto all fours. So if you have got sore knees here and you'd like to reach for a back blanket, pop it underneath the knees, please do so. Otherwise, there's always the option to just fold up the mat in the centre, just to make that little extra cushion for the knees here. Okay, so remember we're shoulder opening. So we're going to come onto the knees. I don't need either, so I'm just going to draw that mat back. Coming onto the knees. Sitting back on the heels to begin with. Draw those knees in towards one another. Tuck the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. And then sit on the heels with the toes tucked under if that is comfortable for the soles of the feet. From here, we're going to roll those shoulders down away from the ears. And then we're going to stack right elbow on top of left elbow and reach around, palms to touch. If this is too much, you can just reach for opposite shoulders and draw those elbows down and away. Otherwise, reaching around those palms to touch, tuck the tailbone under, draw that tummy in, and then inhale, lengthening those fingertips up towards the sky and draw those elbows out towards the front of the room to really open up that sort of diamond space at the back here. Keep that tummy drawn in, really enjoying that stretch for the soles of the feet and keeping that breath long and deep. Couple of extra breaths here. Shoulders softening away from the ears. And then exhale, softly unwind. Bring those palms to the floor. Gecko fingers. Spread those fingertips broadly. Releasing those toes and maybe making some circles in one direction, then back the other way. And then sitting back on those toes, or if that is too much, just bring the tops of the feet towards the floor and sit back on the heels in that way. Otherwise, tucking those toes under for another stretch. And this time we're going back the other way. So stacking that left elbow on top of right elbow and reaching around to touch. Remember to tuck that tailbone under, draw the tummy in, shoulders away from the ears, lengthen those fingertips away. Crown of the head lifts as if by a golden thread. And then again, coming in, bringing that awareness into that diamond shape at the back, between the shoulders. See if you can really expand that space with the breath as you breathe in. Soften the muscles of the face and keep that breath long. Extra breath here, deep inhale. Good, and then exhale, softly unwinding, rotating from those shoulders, bringing those fingers back towards the floor, releasing the feet. And then from here, we're going to press through. Spread out broad palms, tuck those toes under, and imagine there's a tether drawing that tummy in towards the upper thigh. As we start to send that tailbone up towards the sky, bringing the arms and ears in line. And for a little bit of an extra shoulder stretch, let's reach for the outside edges of the mat here and step the feet really wide into our first downward dog. So pressing through that floor, really opening up that space between the shoulders. Sort of downward facing dogs are looking towards the mat. Press through those heels. Maybe lift and lengthen through one heel, then the other. Maybe bringing those knees across the body. Get those hips involved. Inhale, lengthening that floor away. Press that tailbone up. Draw the tummy in. And then exhale, walk the palms back through center, shoulders width. Walk those feet in, hip width apart. Pull back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog, pressing through index fingers and thumbs. And then from here, we're going to inhale and just send that right foot straight up towards the sky, keeping those hip points nicely level. Remember to keep those arms and ears in line. And then as we exhale, see if we can draw that knee in towards the chest, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, and then stepping through into a low lunge, rolling down onto that left knee and coming onto the left top of the foot. From here, we're going to inhale, send that heart forward, right knee over right ankle. And then from here, we're going to inhale, sweep those arms up into a low lunge, really feeling into that stretch across the hip flexor at the front of the left thigh. And then from here, we're going to windscreen wiper those arms out towards the side, squeeze those elbows out towards the side, and reach around, interlacing those fingertips at the lower back. Draw them down past the tailbone, squeeze those shoulder blades in, press that heart forward as you sink the hips down towards the floor. And really press those shoulders together at the back and open across the chest, laying through the back of the head and neck, and hold. Good, and then exhale, unwind. We're going to come back up, so sweep those fingertips back up high, sending those hips forwards, and then exhale, bring those fingertips framing that right foot, then heel toe that right foot out towards the side of the mat, bring that left palm inside of right foot, send those hip points forward, and then inhale, lift and lengthen through the right fingertips, and draw those shoulder blades again towards one another at the back here, opening across the chest. And then exhale, softly unwind. We're going to sweep that right foot back. Press back through Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog with bent knees. Step the feet back, one, then the other. Press that floor away, arms and ears in line. And then from here, we're going to go into the other side. So lifting that left heel straight up towards the sky. Keep that belly strong. Keep envisaging that space between the shoulder blades as you press through the fingers, and then exhale, draw that left knee in towards the chest, rounding that spine, shoulders over wrists, and then see if you can step in one smooth motion towards the front of the mat and lower onto that right knee. From here, we're going to send that heart forward, so left knee over left ankle, roll those shoulders down away from the ears, again that shoulder awareness. Then as we're ready, inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, Walk those elbows out towards the side and then interlacing fingertips opposite pinky on top if you can remember. Then draw those palms down past the tailbone as you squeeze the shoulder blades in. Press that heart forward and lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale deeply. Keep that belly strong, tailbone tucking towards back calf, back heel. And then exhale from here. We're going to come back up through crescent. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, planting those palms, so right palm on the inside of left foot. And then let's take that left foot out towards the left side of the mat. Sink those hips forwards and lengthen through left fingertips towards the sky. And again, really rolling those left shoulders down away from the ears, pressing that heart forwards, sinking those hips forwards, keeping that belly strong, opening across the chest. Good, and then exhale, softly unwind. From here, we're going to sweep that foot back, press back through Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. And then from here, we're going to come into dolphin. So we're going to walk the feet in towards the palms of the hands a little and press through the heels. And then we're going to lower onto the forearms and see if we can bring that tailbone towards the sky and shoulders over the elbows where possible, drawing that tummy in. And holding here, pressing through those forearms, really opening that space across the shoulders. You can practice this with the fingertips interlaced at the front, pressing through the pinky fingers and bringing that crown of the head behind the palms. And hold for an extra couple of breaths here. And then exhale, releasing, unwind those forearms, step the feet back. Pull back into a dolphin, a sort of high dolphin plank, and then exhale, rolling forwards onto the knees, coming back onto all fours. Okay, so from here, we're going to practice some cat-cow tilts. This is going to warm up the spine, and then from here, we're going to take it into a deeper shoulder stretch. So rotating from those shoulders, spread those fingertips apart, come into that neutral spine. So a tabletop position for the back, tummy drawn in. And then we're going to begin by pressing that heart forward and sending that tailbone back. So press the heart forward on the inhale, squeeze those elbows in towards center. Shoulder blades draw down the waist and really luxuriating, lengthening and arching the spine here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curling from the tailbone, drawing tummy up and in. Press that floor away. Chin in towards chest. Exhale. And then again, inhale, send that heart forward, tailbone back. Inhale, lengthen. Squeeze those elbows in towards center, strong through the arms, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, rounding from the tailbone, tucking it right underneath, tummy towards the spine, press that floor away. Good, and then inhale, back to a neutral spine. So from here, we're going to take it into a nice little shoulder stretch. So hips are over knees, shoulders are over wrists, and then from here we're just going to walk that left palm across towards the center and take it into an open twist over towards the right hand side. So press through that left palm, lengthen through those right fingertips and stretch through the crown of the head and draw those shoulder blades back in towards one another. Good, and then from here we're going to continue with that right palm sweeping up and around, hook that left hip, draw those hips towards center, and then take it into a twist, back into that twist as you inhale and lengthen, hooking that opposite hip, lengthen through crown of the head and really draw that right shoulder down the waist, getting into that front shoulder, the back of the shoulder, and keep length through the crown of the head. Maybe the head dangles, so you get into the neck as well. Maybe it doesn't, maybe you're long through the crown of the head. And then exhale, softly unwind. From here, inhale, sweep that left palm out towards the side, right palm even. Exhale, tuck it behind left wrist, lowering onto right ear, and then reaching that left palm up and around, hooking that opposite thigh, drawing those hips back through center and hold. Keep drawing that left shoulder away from the ears. Keep those hips over the knees, tummy drawn in. And then softly exhale, unwinding. Bring that left palm back towards the floor. Let's come back to our neutral spine, a couple more cat-cow tilts here. So inhale, press that heart forwards. Exhale, rounding from the tailbone. Draw that tummy in, keeping space across the shoulders. Maybe you bring the hips forwards a little, getting into different parts of the shoulders here. And then again, inhale, press that heart forward, tailbone back. And then exhale back through a neutral spine. Good. Then we're going to walk that right palm in towards center and start to take it in towards a twist over towards the left hand side. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Draw that left shoulder down the waist as you lengthen through the fingertips. And then exhale, sweep that left palm around, hooking that right hip. So maybe give yourself your hips a little sort of spiral wiggle as you hook that opposite hip, drawing that left shoulder blade down. Look out over towards left shoulder, maybe adjusting that right palm to support the weight of the body, and draw those shoulders away from the ears, opening across the chest. Maybe again the head dangles here. And then exhale, softly unwind. Take that left palm out towards the side, and then exhale, tuck it behind the right wrist and lower onto that left ear. From here, inhale, sweep that right palm up and over, hook left hip, draw those hips to level, press through back of left hand, draw all of the shoulders away from the ears, tummy pulls in strongly, and take it into a deep twist here. And then as we're ready, inhale, preparing to move. Exhale, softly unwinding, bringing that right palm down towards the floor. Back through a neutral spine. Then from here, we're going to come into Anahatasana, heart melting pose. So walk the palms of the hands far, fingertips face the short edge of the mat. Keep those hips high over the knees. Walk the palms a little wider if that feels comfortable. And then lengthen or press that heart towards the floor. Pick up the palms of the hands and feel that stretch as you rest on the chin or the forehead. Really feeling that opening in the shoulders, pressing through the floor with the fingertips. Getting some height, some lift through the palms of the hands, and feel that stretch. Good, and then inhale as draw those palms back, come back through a neutral spine. And then from here we're going to walk those palms in, shoulders width, and then slide those shoulders through the gates of the arms, sliding onto the tummy, hug those elbows in, lengthen through one foot, then the other foot, and we're going to come into Sphinx pose. This is a nice upper back stretch. We're going to bring the elbows below the shoulders, spread out through those fingertips, and press again that heart forward, drawing those shoulder blades in, and drawing the shoulders down away from the ears as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Close the eyes here, soften the muscles of the face, and then if you're squeezing the buttocks, just allow those to relax, and just allow this gravity to do its magic. Allow that passiveness of the upper body stretch to take its hold, releasing towards the floor, pressing that heart forward and drawing those shoulders lightly in towards center. Keep that breath long and smooth. Inhales, exhales the same length, in and out through the nose if you can. Two more breaths here, so inhale deeply. Good, and then as we're ready, we're going to start to put a bend in those knees, tuck those toes under, tuck the tailbone under, draw that tummy in towards the spine and start to round the spine as we softly walk those palms back, pressing through Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Walk those feet in, those palms in, press that floor away. And then from here we're going to inhale and lift that left foot straight up towards the sky. Exhale, bend deeply through that left foot, left knee and step between the palms of the hands. You can do it in stages. And we're going to come straight up into Warrior One. So turning out a little on that back foot if you can, or keeping that back heel lifted if it affects the ability of the hips to face forwards. Then inhale, bring palms to touch, interlacing fingertips, deep bend in that front knee, and draw that left hip back, right hip forward as you lengthen through the fingertips. If you can, turn out a little on that back foot, Wonderful, but it doesn't matter if you can't. Tuck that tailbone under, draw the tummy in, nice deep bend in that front knee. And then exhale, opening out towards the long edge of your mat, turning on that back foot into warrior two arms. Lengthen those fingertips away. Take an inhale and turn the palms up. Exhale, turn the palms down. Inhale, turn them up. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, palms down. So we're getting into the rotator cuffs here in the shoulders. Inhale, turn palms up. Exhale, palms down. Inhale, palms up, and we're going to take it into peaceful warrior. So inhale, reach through towards the back of the room, sending that back palm down the thigh, sinking deeply into that front knee as you lengthen those left fingertips towards the sky, looking up towards the sky if that's available on you, keeping that tummy drawn in. Good, and then exhale back through warrior two arms. We're going to take humble warrior here. So from here we're going to sweep those fingertips around at the lower back, interlace those fingers, draw the palms down past the tailbone and open up the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to send that left shoulder to inside of left thigh and reach fingertips up and overhead into a humble warrior. Keep pressing through the outside edge of the back foot. Keep drawing those shoulder blades down away from the ears. And then inhale, softly come up. Exhale, release the palms of the hands. I'm going to take it towards the opposite side. So windscreen wiper those feet. Over towards the other side. I'm going to sweep those fingertips around. Pick up that back heel. Inhale, reaching into warrior one. Maybe turning out a little on that back foot. But keep those hip points facing forwards. Lengthen those fingertips away. Keep the belly strong. Tailbone tucking under. Deep bend in that front knee. Lengthening away. And then exhale, opening into warrior two arms. Nice deep bend in that front knee again. Checking in that front knee isn't sort of wobbling from side to side. Keep it nice and steady. Front knee over front ankle. Picking up the chest, drawing tummy in. Keeping that pelvis nice and stable. Then inhale, turn palms up. Exhale, palms down. Inhale up. Exhale down, keep pressing through that back foot. Inhale, palm up. And then sweeping those front fingertips, right fingertips up towards the back of the room. Turn that left palm down the thigh, lengthen towards the back, deeply bending into that front knee. Tummy drawn in, left shoulder drawn down away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back through warrior two arms. I'm going to reach around. Interlacing those fingertips on the lower back, draw them down past the tailbone, opening up that heart, send the crown of the head up, and then exhale, bring right shoulder to inside of right thigh, and then fingertips go up and overhead into humble warrior. Good. Keep that belly drawn in, keep pressing through outside of back foot, crown of the head dangles. And then exhale, releasing, coming back up through warrior two arms. And from here we're going to shorten into Trikonasana or triangle pose. So we're just going to heel to that back foot in a little. Lengthen through both legs. And bring those fingertips back through warrior two arms. So front foot is now facing short edge of mat. Back foot facing long edge of the mat. And we've got heel to arch alignment with the feet here. Lifting those inner arches of the feet, pressing through the sort of big toe mound of that front foot as we draw the shoulders away. And then from here we're going to lengthen into that back hip. So hinging into that back hip as you reach the front fingertips over that front thigh, keeping that body in a two-dimensional plane. When you can reach no further, we're going to lower that right palm towards the thigh or shin and turn up on those left fingertips, turn them away so palm faces towards the front of the room. Then lengthen through those fingertips to bring those shoulders into one line and press out through the back of that left foot for stability and right big toe mounds at the front. Lengthen crown of the head away. And then from here, for a little bit more, we're going to sweep that left palm around and hook onto right hip. And again, continue to draw that left shoulder away from the ears as you lengthen through crown of the head and bring that back hip underneath you. So bringing those hip points forwards underneath you. Good, maybe you can dangle the head towards the floor and get into that neck again. That can feel quite beautiful. And then inhale and softly come up, put a gentle bend in that front knee. Press through both feet evenly. Back through warrior two, arms and windscreen wiping those feet. So turning out to the opposite side. Warrior two, arms. Maybe shorten that stance a little if you've suddenly found yourselves a bit long. Lengthen through those fingertips. Remember that two-dimensional plane. Pressing through the big toe mound of that front foot, outside of back foot, but lifting through both inner arches of the feet to feel those thighs firming. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge into that back hip, reaching those fingertips away, out over the front thigh and shin. When you can reach no further, keeping that length in the side, reach and bring those left fingertips down to the shin or thigh. Turn both palms away, and then lifting through those right fingertips to draw those shoulders in line, tucking that back hip underneath you as you lengthen into Trikonasana or triangle on this side. Remember keeping that left shoulder drawing down away from the ears and keep that nice open and full sensation across the heart and chest. And then sweeping those right fingertips up and overhead, hooking that left hip, draw that right shoulder away from the ears, and again lengthening that back hip underneath you, drawing tummy in, tailbone tucks under. And maybe dangle that head towards the floor to get a stretch in the side of the neck there. It can feel quite beautiful. Close the eyes if you can, for a little extra challenge. Really feeling into those feet, drawing those tummy muscles up and in. And then as we're ready, inhale, put a bend in that front knee. Unwind those fingertips, come back through warrior two, arms. We're going to turn up on that back heel, windscreen wipe those fingertips towards the front of the mat. Plant those palms, stand towards the back of the mat. And we're going to lower onto the knees for Ustrasana or camel pose. So a nice little back bend, a nice heart opening posture. And I'll take you through the different modifications that you can use. So if you have got a blanket and want to pop it underneath your bottom, rest it against the calf muscles, feel free to do that. Otherwise, sitting back on the heels, you can come onto the tops of the feet, but that will make camel posture a little bit trickier. Otherwise, we're tucking those toes, checking that the knees are fist width apart, between the knees, and then we're going to kneel nice and tall, shoulders over hips, hips over knees, fingertips towards the waist. From here, we're going to inhale, reach and press that heart forward and draw those elbows in towards one another with the back, tummy nice and strong, tailbone tucks under, sort of really activating those tummy muscles as you lengthen through the crown of the head. So that's option one. Option two is to windmill those arms, left palm, then right palm, reaching for those heels and pressing through the heart towards the front of the room. And option three is to practice this, but with the tops of the feet on the floor, keeping those knees parallel like train tracks, and try to avoid coming past the heels too much. Just press that heart up towards the sky, keeping length through the crown of the head. So come out, exhale, squeeze those thighs in, bring palms back towards the hips. And then from here, we're going to take it into a nice little Balasana variation. So sweep those fingertips around towards the back. Going to sit back on the heels, coming onto the tops of the feet. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, rolling gently onto the crown of the head. Fingertips go up and over. And then exhale, rolling back, hips towards heels, tuck those toes. Prepare for Camel Ustrasana. Again. So again, option one, bringing hands towards hips. Lengthen tailbone towards the floor. Tummy drawn in. Squeeze those elbows together. Shoulders drop away. Length through crown of the head. Or option two, windmilling those palms, one then the other, pressing through that heart, lengthen through the back of the neck and crown of the head. And hold. And then exhale, softly squeeze those thighs together, palms towards hips, sitting back on those heels. And then coming onto the tops of the feet, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, rolling back over onto crown of head, maybe switching the pinky fingers this time.
Squeezing those shoulder blades in towards one another, tucking that tailbone under, drawing that tummy in. And then exhale. Softly releasing here. Okay. One last couple of shoulder stretches for you before I let you rest. So from here, we're going to come onto the tummy and bring the fingertips to a T at shoulder height. So fingertips towards the T, lengthen through one foot, then the other foot, and bring that left ear towards the floor. From here, we're going to practice broken wings. So we're going to start to roll on towards that left hip, pressing through that right palm of the hand, keeping that left palm at shoulder height out towards the side, and start to stack the knees, bending one and then the other. Maybe this doesn't feel like much of a stretch at all, and maybe you can start to bring the feet all the way round, one then the other, as if coming into Setu Bandha or bridge pose, keeping those knees nicely parallel. If this is a little bit much on that back shoulder, you can cactus the arm and put a bend in it. Otherwise, from here, we're going to inhale, sweep those right fingertips up and overhead, interlace those fingers at the lower spine, draw them down past the tailbone, lengthen through the heart, and stretch through the shoulder points, drawing those shoulder blades in towards center. And hold here for a couple of breaths. Breath long and smooth. And then exhale, softly bring those knees back round, releasing those fingertips, rolling back onto the belly, fingertips at shoulders height. And then we're going to practice the other way. So lengthening through, fingertips at shoulders height, and then rolling onto the side. So rolling onto the right hip, this time pressing that left palm through the floor. Start to stack those knees, one and then the other. If that feels comfortable, maybe you can start to bring the feet round, one and then the other. And then from here, you can turn that back palm up, reach those left fingertips around, interlacing those fingertips down past the tailbone, squeeze those shoulders together, tuck the tailbone under, feet as if they are in Setu Bandha or bridge pose, and then just allow the head to rest softly against the floor, keeping the neck nice and long space between the shoulders and skull. As you stretch out through the shoulders here. Remembering your modification, you can just simply cactus that back arm, like so, and practice just with the knees stacked, just pressing that floor away. So whatever feels most comfortable for you. This is your practice. Do what you can, and rest when you need to. And then exhale, as we're ready, start to bring those knees back round, stacking those ankles, rolling onto the tummy, arms alongside the body. Let's take a belly shavasana for just 2 breaths here. See if you can feel the pelvis, the hips lifting as you breathe deeply into the belly. And then just bring that awareness, the space between the shoulders on the next breath. And then as we're ready, inhale, bring those palms alongside the rib cage. Maybe come into an up dog, so squeeze those elbows in. Coming onto tops of the feet, tuck tailbone under, nice and strong through those nicely stretched shoulders. Lift those knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hips towards heels. Child's pose, knees together or apart. And then from here, coming up to a comfortable seat and setting yourselves back up for your Shavasana, so your final resting pose. So using those tummy muscles to roll down the length of the spine. If the spine struggles to be completely in contact with the floor, walk those feet as wide as the mat, knees in towards one another, untuck that flesh. Spine nice and straight but not stiff. Rest with the palms away from the body, face them up to receive. Otherwise, lengthen through one foot, then the other. Toes drop open towards the side, shoulders away from the ears. Tuck that chin in towards the chest. And just softly sinking into the floor, into the mat for your Shavasana. Let's take a couple of minutes here. Close the eyes.
Allow that breath to return to its natural rhythm. Soften through the body, scanning from the toes all the way up to the crown of the head. Softly sinking, muscles give up their hold around the bones. Shavasana. Rest. Good. And as we lie here in a state of complete rest, just revisiting your intention if you set one from the start of your practice. Just remembering that we cannot pour from an empty cup. So here we come to our yoga mats to fill up our cup with compassion, with kindness, so that we may take these qualities, our yoga with us, off the mat and into the world outside. And then as you're ready, start to prepare the body to make some movements of wrists, of ankles, fingers, toes. Maybe inhale, lengthen fingertips away, point those toes away. Get tall, get long. And then exhale, drawing the knees in towards the chest. Hug them in deeply. Give yourself a compassionate hug. And then softly rolling onto your right hand side. Bring your left palm towards the floor and pause for a moment in gratitude for all your blessings. I'm sure they are many. And then press yourselves back up to a comfortable seat, facing this way. Let's take an easy pose, our Sukhasana. And then bring the palms to touch in front of the heart. Bow the head, sealing in the benefits of our yoga practice today. And then palms to touch in front of the forehead for loving and compassionate thoughts. To the heart center for loving and compassionate intentions. And to the lips for loving, compassionate words and communications. Thank you so much for your beautiful shoulder and neck stretching practice. I cannot wait to see you next time. Thank you so much. Namaste.